Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris, and today I want to talk about what's going on with MGM and their reboot of Chucky. If you've seen the news lately, you see that MGM is coming out with a reboot of the beloved Child's Play series with Chucky. And I know it could be a little confusing knowing there's still a home-to-video version with Universal and a TV show coming out with the original creator Don Mancini. So I just want to bring some of you up to date or just inform you of what's going on, give you my personal opinions, and down below you can tell me what you think about it. So starting off, in July 3rd of this year, we got word from the Hollywood Reporter that MGM would be fast-tracking a Child's Play reboot with director Lars Klevberg, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, who most recently directed Polaroid, a film that has not yet to be released but was made all the way back in 2015. Following that story breaking, Collider comes out and expands that the story will follow a group of kids, sort of like Stranger Things. This time around, the doll will be a technologically advanced doll, might have a different name, and the reason they went with Lars Klevberg is because the producers actually got to see the movie Polaroid, and that it was such a strong film they just handed the movie to this director. Then August 14th of 2018, Lars Klevberg posts on his Instagram a photo of the script with the Child's Play title revealing the screenwriter, that is Tyler Burton Smith. He doesn't have much credit to him. The only thing he's really doing right now is Kung Fury 2, but being that that's not out yet, can't really judge him. Within that post, there was a picture of a knife on top of the script, and it read with the hashtags respect, legacy, let's play. But shortly thereafter, that post was deleted. The day after that, in August 15, 2018, we get an article from Bloody Digest claiming that they've seen the production listing with a synopsis that reads, Andy, a 12-year-old boy, and his ragtag group of friends face off against a robot doll on a killing spree. Then on August 27, 2018, comicbookmovie.com comes out revealing details about the doll. It's a defect buddy doll whose programming code was hacked so that he has no limitations to learning and also violence. Continuing on that, the responsible party for who did this to the doll, a Chinese factory worker who commits suicide shortly after reprogramming a buddy doll to have no limitations. Then it's a bit of silence for a while, but on September 19, 2018, Collider reports that Aubrey Plaza and Tyree Henry are actually in talks to star in the movie. Aubrey Plaza will be playing the role of the mother, while it's assumed that Brian will be playing the role of the detective from the original movie. With all this being revealed though, the next day, August 20th, 2018, MGM finally comes out with a full synopsis of their version of the movie along with some cast listings. MGM's official synopsis is Child's Play follows a mother who gives her son a toy doll for her birthday, unaware of its more sinister nature. The additional cast that we did not know from the Collider report was Gabriel Bateman. Now he'll be playing Andy, and I guess the leader of his ragtag group of friends. And that brings us up to today, where we get the first reveal of what Chucky will look like in this new reboot. Along with that, an interview with the director giving a little more detail into the movie. Now in this interview, he does credit Don Mancini and wishes that they could work together, but he understands he's on his own project right now with the home video and television series of Child's Play. But the most interesting quote from that interview to me is that it's going to be scary, it's going to be surprisingly emotional, and we also want it to be fun. That's just such a huge cluster of things that you want to throw into this movie that, if it pays through, this is going to be one hell of a Chucky movie. Now that you're up to date with everything, let me break down and sort of give my opinion what I think is going on and how this might fare to the actual movie when it comes out. So starting off, I think MGM are some hoes right now. I can't believe that they're fast-tracking this reboot, especially when Don Mancini is working on his own version of the television series, and he's going back to naming it Child's Play. Up until then, the last couple series that's been coming out straight to video have been called Blank of Chucky. So it's been Curse of Chucky, Cult of Chucky, Bride of Chucky. And now he's wanting to take it back to those roots for the television show and call it Child's Play. And little would you know, MGM, you know what, we're gonna help you out there and make a theatrical movie completely different to what you're doing. And good luck, man. So in that aspect, I think there's some douchebags for doing this, but it is a business. Along with that, the reason that MGM is able to do this is because MGM was the one who made the first Child's Play movie. So they own the rights to the very first Child's Play movie. After that, the sequels were then made by Universal Studios. So then they acquire the rights for the sequels and home-to-video sets. So anything that happened in the sequels, this new movie cannot do. So that means Andy's stepsister Kyle cannot be in these movies. They can't go to military school. They can't can't go to an amusement park. He can't have a bride. He can't have a transgender son or daughter. All that will stay and continue with the Don Mancini series. What they can do is just stick to what happened in the original, so I'm guessing that's why they're putting Aubrey Plaza as the mother, why they're having a detective role with Brian Tyree Henry. Now that you understand that, after I got past that, okay, they're gonna reboot this, they're gonna do this, whatever, I think it's kind of awesome. As a big fan of Chucky, I remember watching this movie as a kid and just loving it. Not even because it scared me, just because I always just found it so awesome. This killer, the voodoo of going into the body, just the color scheme of him. I am this close to wanting to buy a life-size actual Chucky doll, but my girlfriend who I live with does not really approve of that, so we'll see if I can convince her. So after getting past how mad and douchey MGM was, I think it's kind of badass that we're getting another Chucky movie going straight to theaters. But I could also understand the people who are hardcore Chucky fans and love what Don Mancini is doing with the home video and television series, because I love that stuff. When they came out with that home video Curse of Chucky movie, I was skeptical. I was like, why would they do this? And straight to video, who's gonna like this? I like that. Then the sequel Cult of Chucky, I like that even more. And anyone who's hating on the straight to video movies and calling them crap, they're critically accepted and fans are loving them. So if you're just hating on them, it's just because they're going straight to video and you think that's cheap. But then again, it's your opinion and maybe I'm wrong. So I'm super excited for this television series. Now pushing on to this reboot, then you get to hear where they expand on how this Chucky doll is gonna work. They're gonna do away with the voodoo possession. Instead of a serial killer going into the body, it's gonna be an AI, sort of technologically advanced doll. And it's even weirder when you hear it was a random Chinese factory worker who then commits suicide for the fun of it. I mean, straight out hearing that, I hated that idea. I did not like it. I thought it was completely stupid and I wanted them to shut down this movie right away. Then I thought about it for 2 more days. And now I think it's brilliant. Now hear me out on this. Think about it. To get these serial killers to continue on, and especially if we want them to revive like Michael Myers is trying to do with the Halloween movie, which I hope succeeds because that means maybe a Jason Voorhees movie, a Freddy Krueger movie. But to keep them relevant, to keep them up to date, you have to also keep up with the times. If we just always go with the same generic origin story of the voodoo, it's gonna wear thin, it's gonna seem like a rehash, so I actually applaud them for taking this risky, ballsy move. But the fact that they're saying that this is a technologically advanced doll, so it probably has an app that goes along with it when you buy this doll. It can probably say 100 different phrases instead of like 5 when the first Chucky doll did. And it's probably gonna have some cool little techno things to go on when it comes to life and starts murdering people. I mean, you saw that robot dog that Sony put out, and that's a hot toy item right now, so it kind of makes sense what they're doing, and it keeps up with the modern time and how kids want something with technology in it. If it doesn't have technology in it, kids say screw it. Now when it comes down to the Stranger Things, I don't believe it's them trying to copy Stranger Things and having a group of kids. I do hate how they use that word ragtag group. I think it's actually more in line of something with what It did, especially since those producers are involved with this movie. I think they're trying to make it more in lines with It. While Stranger Things is awesome and cool and it's on Netflix, they're really a PG version of what the characters from It were. They were cursing, they were acting what I think real kids act like. Saying yo mama jokes, insulting one another, talking about sex, talking about all this stuff that you know little kids talk about but you don't want to think about. So if they can attribute the way those kids were talking to Chucky going around and murdering them, I think that would be awesome. Aubrey Plaza as the mom also, I can't see her as a mom, but I'm sure they'll do a good job of that in the film. Brian Tyree Henry, I love him in Atlanta. I can already see him being a sassy, fun, asshole cop in this movie. Also defending the point for them wanting to go AI with it, did you know that Don Mancini, the original creator of Child's Play, he didn't come up with the voodoo. He didn't even want the voodoo in the movie. It was not his idea. It was part of the studios thinking it's more marketable if it's a serial killer who goes in the doll. His original idea is that you were supposed to think throughout the movie that it might be Andy killing these people and not Chucky.
It was not in my original script. The doll, Buddy, was not possessed by the spirit of a serial killer. Rather, he was the manifestation of Andy's unconscious rage.
And then at the end of the movie, it would have been revealed that Chucky is sort of the manifestation of anger and hate that Andy has portrayed onto the doll, and that's why it comes to life in a supernatural way. Honestly, this AI killing doll makes a lot more sense to me than Don Mancini's original idea of having a supernatural doll that manifests from anger. But with that said, I still prefer the original origin story. I still prefer the serial killer going into the voodoo doll, then chasing Andy to get out of the body. I always loved that, and I still continue loving the series that is going on right now. But I am optimistic to this new one, and I think it is going to be awesome. And looking at the new one with the photo they revealed, I actually really dig that look. It's almost got sort of a porcelain look, but if you really zoom into it, you see features that almost looks like skin. And that's what I loved most with a Chucky doll. Every movie had a different look of Chucky, and I don't get how that happens, how you can't keep the same looking doll in every movie. My favorite Chucky doll was in Child's Play 2. That's when he looked the scariest and most innocent in my opinion. The worst looking doll was unfortunately in Curse of Chucky with what the heck is this? But that's just my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think about this reboot, what you think might happen with it, what will go on. Are you just a diehard fan of the current series and want to stick to that only and are gonna boycott this? Please let me know your thoughts down below, and be sure to follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. Like and subscribe, share this video, guys. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.